What's going on YouTube? Culture Unplugged. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I want to make sure I get that out of the way because I have a very interesting video that I wanted to put out there. Really piggybacking on the whole hazing conversation that's pretty much buzzing on news everywhere surrounding the unfortunate death of Caleb Wilson. So we're going to get into it. Trust me, you're in the right place. The video that I'm making is what to do if you're a victim of hazing. Now, let me first say, no disrespect to anyone, any organization, any of that stuff. I kind of got to put that out there because it seems like that's a common thing people think that I'm trying to do, but that's not what I'm doing. So what I am doing is raising awareness, and awareness is in this topic is something that's not always talked about. Usually it's very much hush hush, behind closed doors, quiet, all that stuff. So you're in the right place when it comes to this video. So I can't wait to share and drop some knowledge to you, give you some tips. Don't go anywhere. Watch my intro clip and let's get it unplugged. All right, so first of all, again, if you're new here, thank you for joining. Thank you to all the recent subscribers. Thank you to you if you're a new subscriber. Stay locked in with me because I'm looking to drop videos Thursdays and Sundays going forward. So Thursdays and Sundays, you'll see me here. I tend to talk about topics surrounding like my travels, different advice around travels, young male mentorship. In this space, where we're talking about fraternities and organizations and all that stuff, I've had experience where I was a victim of hazing. I joined or attempted to join a fraternity at a HBCU in Virginia. I can't say which one, or the organization I was attempting to join as far as fraternity goes, but it was a D9, again, D9 Divine Nine organization. So I have extensive experience in essentially what goes on, what happens if you're someone who's finding themselves interested in an organization and you're looking to, understand what I can expect. Then you're in the right place. So stay locked in with me. If you're existing members of Culture Unplugged, it's good to see you back. So starting off like this. So it's tricky because first of all, you can be hazed at any organization. So it doesn't have to be fraternities. It doesn't have to be sororities. It doesn't have to be, anything around the Greek life. It can be something that is like you're trying to join a band, like a college band, or you're trying to join a fashion brand group, right? So it's like a group, and usually you see a lot of these groups and have some type of initiation. It's not always spelled out. It's not always told. Sometimes it's something that's on the hush hush. Someone knows and you're interested, you're nervous, you're anxious, you want to be a part of a particular band or a particular music group or whatever it is. You could find yourself being in a process of some sort. Usually that process could be something that is mentally exhausting, mental abuse. It could be physical abuse. It could be emotional abuse. It could be any of those things, and that would be considered hazing. Okay. So let me kind of jump back a little bit. So what is hazing? Like I said, hazing can be basically any of the things I just described as far as abuse, and it's not always put out there. It's not always told. So there are things or ways that you can see, basically like, okay, stuff is starting to add up. I think I'm being hazed. If you can understand that hazing, the word hazing itself, is also illegal in 44 states. There are a handful of states where it's there's no clear set law on what hazing is. It's just pretty much something that's just going to happen out there. I think Hawaii is one of them, and South Dakota is one of them. But needless to say, you should be aware on what it looks like, so you can make a determination if this is something that you want to continue to put your life into. I'm always going to be, first of all, Uncle Chris. That's who I am. Uncle Chris is someone who's going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Understand that there's two ways to kind of go about things. And but that first focus for you is your safety, making sure that you're staying alive, that you're not hurt, harmed, that kind of thing. So if that's something that you can say for sure it's not going to be an issue, then hey, be by all means, that's your journey. It is what it is. But recognizing that you can find yourself so deep and so locked in, it's a term like in too deep. It's like, the guy who gets pretty much undercover. He's a part of, a gang unit, and then finds himself doing the actual drugs. You can find yourself doing those things, trying to be a part of an organization. So I'm trying to make that clear as far as analogy goes. But let's just say this. So the first thing is you could find yourself being hazed if you're being asked to do something that's beyond your knowing ability, as far as emotional ability or what you can handle normally. So someone is physically, being cursing at you, attacking you, calling you name, all kind of wild stuff. And you're in this other group with other people, you're probably being hazed. If you're being tasked to do certain things beyond the normal, that makes either sense or cause some type of mental some type of mental stress, physical stress, anything like that, then yeah, you might be hazed or being hazed by a particular group. You don't necessarily have to be in a group to be hazed. It could be just you and then them, right? So it could be you and then 2 or 3 other people that's doing physical attacks on you, whether it be, again, verbal, emotional, physical. They can be doing all those things against you and just as one person. But again, it also can be in a group. So there's certain things that, again, the group or organization you're looking to get into, I don't care if it's a band, a fraternity, a sorority, whatever type of group it is, if they make any type of a notion that, hey, you're going to have to do pretty much a quid pro quo, you're going to do this for that. In order to get in this group, you're going to have to do X, Y, Z. That's hazing. Know your boundaries. You have boundaries. You're right to your boundaries and what you can and can't handle. For the long run, I will tell you, for situations that involve physical abuse, especially physical abuse, where your life is at risk, you need to understand that there are risks. If you're someone who's online right now, meaning you are in a process right now, I need you to recognize what your limits are. If you're in a situation where it's beyond physical, your mental is messed up, your body's, injured in some form or fashion, you cannot go further along. Do not risk your life. Do not risk your well-being to be a part of an organization. That's 100% going to be my stance and motto for you. If you're someone who's just, curious, what does this look like? What could I be up against if I decide to join this particular group? That really also depends. There are certain chapters of certain groups, not necessarily fraternities, sororities, and depending on this, even the school's background, the tradition, the culture, the history. Hazing is a culture activity, usually based in groups that feel like, hey, this is a certain type of earned membership. What we have here, it's not just a cakewalk, is what they will call it. Some groups will call it that. It's not skating. It's not paper. All that stuff is referencing an easy process, smooth process to be a part of that organization. So that's where you got to really think about it. Hey, does this make sense for me? Could I physically, emotionally, spiritually put myself through this? I will tell you this. I'm going to give you a story really quick, and I referenced it when I talked about my story. When I was hazed, before I was starting to be hazed, there was already pretty much blatant reference to the leader of the group is called, the leader of the group is called like the dean, right? So the dean has already made reference that, you're gonna have to take a paddle. And I was like, what? Did he really just say that? He said, yeah, we're gonna have to give you the paddle. You're gonna have to get in the cut. Like, there was almost like this joke, like laughing about it. So getting the cut basically means is that you're in a bend over position while you are waiting to have your ass slammed with a 2-inch plywood called a paddle. Okay. Now that particular experience is overwhelmingly, my bad, can't even speak tonight. Overwhelmingly painful. Okay. Very, very painful. And there were guys that were like 8 of us or 9 of us that took that particular, what we call getting the wood. They took that particular, pretty much paddle, and up to 50 times, 3 times, 150 whacks of a paddle, sometimes even worse. And guys walking out of there with pretty much injuries that were serious, very, very serious injuries. For me, I had pretty much a hematoma that was locked, necrosis of tissue. Basically, my ass was dead. Flesh was dying. That's how bad it was. It looked like, okay, you got your ass whooped, or your mama used to beat you with a belt, whatever, to the white meat show. My white meat of skin had broke, and all that was exposed, and a Band-Aid basically, and some gauze was holding it together. As painful as it was, and imagine trying to sit down, or having other guys, so your blood essentially clots. When you get force of impact on the skin, you have breakage, constant force. It starts to deteriorate the injury. It starts to become what we call blood clots. And that blood clotting is pretty much there. The science of it essentially is to, start to heal the wound, okay? So what happens is to prevent issues with blood clotting, we would have to massage each other's asses. We would have to, as guys, grown ass men in college. I'm just giving you the real shit. You came up here to watch this video, I'm gonna give you the real shit. But we'd have to massage each other's asses because the pain from the paddle was so heavy that you can't imagine, you can't go to bed with that kind of pain, and a lot of times, to be honest with you, we slept on the rug. We slept on a rug, hot, sweaty folders or binders of information that they want us to remember and recite, each day, sharing a bowl, having hot sauce poured on our genitals because they wanted to illustrate what it's like to have an STD. These are some real things, and I know it's a lot that I just gave you just now. I'm not skipping past it just because. I'm only talking about it because, again, you need to understand what type of organization that you're trying to join. What is the limits you're really gonna push yourself to do. You have to also understand too what really is concerning me. When we had essentially our homecoming, that was like what we call Hell Week, or some type of hard week where alumni members would come back from other years prior. So you have basically the current members that are on the line that are pretty much trying to get in, right? And you have the older guys who have already been in the line or the year prior to you, okay, and prior to your group. So your group is on the line, and you got the other cats that have already been, part of the organization. And then when it comes to homecoming, you see, this is the thing that you have to really understand that you're putting yourself through, and it's something that I put myself through because I wanted to be a part of something that big. I wanted to have the attention of what they told me, and it was like, Chris, you're gonna get all these girls, you're gonna have women throwing themselves at you. They talked about how I was gonna pretty much be the big man on campus, which is what you see all the time. They know it. You don't think that they know? They know that when you join, all of the pain and the suffering that they had to go through was to lead to that point where they can stroll and have a certain style and charisma, and everyone is pretty much being looking at them like they're the shit. And you have these older cats that are like from way back 5 years prior, 10 years prior, that come from different schools, long they're in the same organization. They will come to that homecoming, okay, and looking to try to find young girls. Sometimes young girls from other sororities who are also online and looking for sexual favors. And other types of predatory behavior is going on. It's a whole lot. That's a whole other conversation by itself. But they're also coming to also get in to help you get in line and whip your ass as well. Some of this stuff is pervasive. A lot of the activities, a lot of the things that we experience with the hot sauce on the genitals and the physical attack, a lot of this stuff was very, very pervasive. They pretty much control what you wore. If you wore anything else beyond that, you would get some type of physical abuse, or some type of detrimental physical attack. One person get hit, everybody get hit. One person get in the line, everybody get in line. It's like you're uniformed in this group, and this is something not just beyond fraternities and sororities, even beyond Divine Nine. There are PWI organizations that practice the same things. And what I mean by that is when you have pretty much white institutions, universities, right? Black universities like Hampton University, Howard, Virginia State, schools that, hey, these things can be prevalent beyond organizations. As far as fraternities, it can be in the regular dance group. So serious. A regular dance group could also be a part of some type of initiation or hazing, where it could be physical or mental. But you need to read the signs. If it's something secretive, something small, it may start you off with working out. They may say, hey, Chris, go get in the cut and give me 50 push-ups. That's effing hazing, okay? If you're having to do anything beyond your norm. Yes, it may be considered paper. Yes, it may be considered skating or skirting, whatever they want to call it, that says that, hey, you didn't put your due justice. And again, that's up to you. It is your decision. But I will say, you have to know your limits. When you're ready to get out, meaning that you can't take anymore, you need to speak up and talk to someone. It took me to talk to a school counselor on campus, and because I had thoughts of suicide. It was affecting me in a situation where I just felt like I was ready to kill the dean that was in my car with me at the time. I never told him that, never even spoke about that out there in public, but I'm telling you now, I just was in a dark space mentally with it, and I just could not handle that. And I know my body was not being able to handle that. And unfortunately for victims like myself, or even like Caleb Wilson, who passed away, unfortunately, at the hands of Omega Psi Phi members at a chapter at Southern University. You get so locked, so deep into it, you don't tell anybody. You put a smile on your face and you try to keep it moving. Some of the stories that a lot of members of organizations who have gone through it will tell you, they would have that one friend that they stuck with, or was really close to. They had someone that they could talk to. Have someone that you can talk to through any kind of process that you're looking to put yourself in. Someone who's going to also love you and care about you, cares about your well-being, and will happily pull you out if you can't yourself pull yourself out. I don't know how much more clear I can say beyond that. I'm coming to you with love when I speak on experiences that could affect your health. This is some real shit. If you've made it past this part of the video, hey, you've heard some wild stuff already, and there's so much more. Don't let nobody do anything sexual to you. I don't care, man, woman. Don't let anyone put or do anything sexual to you. Sexual abuse is real. A lot of times unheard of, unsaid. To be a part of any organization or for a favor to get in an organization, it is never that deep. College is 4 years, sometimes 5, depending on how bad you really want this organization to be accepted into this. It is never that deep. I will tell you personally how successful I've been. I work at a great company. I make great money at this point in my life. I'm 37. I'll be 38 later this year. There's just, I haven't been able to kind of get where I need to be, essentially. I've been able to get where I need to be regardless. Yeah, I may not have had big brother, whatever, from whatever school to talk to about getting into a particular, job, whatever the case may be, but nothing's easy, okay? The hookups and all that stuff, what's meant for you is for you. Beyond that, it ain't that deep as far as a membership to an organization. And I say this even through, if you're a band organization, if you are in a damn dance group organization, you're requiring it. It's crazy. Your health, your livelihood, your mental health, all that stuff should never be subjected to any kind of detriment when you're trying to join, pledge, get into a process, whatever you want to call it, which the main word is hazing. I hope that this video was insightful. I think I've given you everything that I can think of based on my story, based on what you may be able to experience, you may experience if you're thinking, hey, am I a victim of hazing? Hopefully this video give you some insight there. Stay locked in with me. I'll have many more videos. If you have any particular questions, please leave them for me in the comment section. I want to hear your feedback. I want to understand, hey, what is it maybe that I maybe have missed? I'd love to talk to you. If you need me to one-on-one, no problem. This is it. So let's get to the next video. I appreciate you. Of course, like and subscribe. Stay locked in with me. Peace. Let's get it unplugged.